Let's talk about Meta. About a day ago or 2 days ago, Meta decided to settle a lawsuit for $17 billion. I'm looking over here because I'm actually reading through most recently what this whole thing involved, um, which will limit the time teens spend on apps daily to 2 hours, um, because they decided that Meta was no good for you. It's crazy that it took us this long to figure this out. I feel like this is something that has been an issue, and people have been talking about this issue for a few years now, especially since 2020, since the pandemic hit, um, and how these apps can harm young kids, teens, and things like that. Um, and I remember calling something like this years ago. I remember at one point I was like, oh, I mean, I worked for Meta or Facebook at the time as kind of like a third party vendor, but I never worked for them directly, and they weren't the ones paying me. I was getting paid through the third party. Um, and I remember being like, oh, I would love to work, at one of these big companies, but we're all starting to realize like how bad these organizations have been for society. Um, and there's some that are pretty decent, but I remember like not feeling great about Snapchat, for instance. That was the first one that I felt like something's wrong with this. Facebook was exciting when it first happened, then Instagram came out and it was exciting. Um, but Snapchat, I think, was the first one where I was like, I don't like this. I don't like how this makes me feel. I don't like this whole idea of like you always got to be on it because it's going to disappear. It's going to disappear. And they kind of started that trend, right? And now we have like Instagram stories. TikTok has their own thing. And then the algorithms just continuously got better and better to the point that I've had to do occasionally, about twice a year. I just like scrub all the apps. I don't use TikTok at all. I do have a TikTok account, but I kind of like it's for my Haas account, my human operating system. But that's it. And I'm not following anything. It's just kind of a post and ghost type of situation with TikTok. But hey, I've been using Instagram forever. I got all my friends there. Like I still use it. So sometimes I have to delete it just to stop. And I have YouTube. I mean, I don't feel like YouTube is as bad, but I definitely don't like the shorts component. It's way too addicting. It's super time consuming. I'd rather watch long form content. I really like long form content. Really, most of the videos I watch are anywhere from 30 minutes to like 4 hours. Like, I watch a lot of, different kinds of things that I'm just interested in. And this lawsuit kind of is going to be the first of many. We're going to probably see more limits. We're going to see less, like, people use it less. I mean, I'm surprised people still use Facebook. I'm like, who uses that anymore? Like, I just kept it because I have older family members who don't use the other apps on there. But that's it. Like, I don't really use it. I think it's connected to my Instagram if I post or something. Um, but this is like a huge deal that they settled for that. It's a win for parents. I know myself, I'm not a parent yet, but I always had the idea like I'm not going to give my kids any technology until they're like well into like teenage years. And there's challenges with that. Jonathan Haidt really talks a lot about it in The Anxious Generation. Great book, highly recommend it. If you haven't read it, whether you have kids or not. If you have kids, it's a definite must read. If you don't have kids, still read it, but when you have kids or if you decide to have kids, it definitely should be a read. Or if you work with kids, I think it's also important. But I was like, no, I'm not gonna give any of them like devices at all. Um, and then when they become teenagers, like, yeah, I don't want them to be ousted or the weird one in school. So they'll get a device, but it'll be very limited to what it can do. Um, and there'll be limits to it. They'll get hourly limits for it. For instance, I already thought of this in my head because I know how bad these things can be. I'm so happy I didn't grow up with them, but I am seeing the effect of it for like I have a little brother and like he's been with all the gadgets since he was a kid, and he's absolutely addicted to them. He's always on them. He's like a zombie without them. um, and he's smart and all, but and just like I don't know what this is going to look like when he gets older and finishes school. So I'm so happy that this is happening. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this whole Meta settlement and the win for parents and the loss for this business and Facebook and Instagram specifically. And what do you think? How you think it's going to affect how these things are done in the next few years? What kind of platforms may come out in the next few years with all this happening? And hopefully, there's new platforms that could take a lot of that market share away and create something that's more uh, effective and more useful than these tools. That isn't ads every 2 seconds, because I feel like that's what happens. I mean, it's like you go on like stories now. It's like every time you look at a friend's thing and you want to see the next one, it's an ad. It's like every other person is an ad. I'm like, all right, like like ads everywhere. It's like hella annoying. I don't even spend that much time on Instagram anymore because of all the ads. It's like constantly like get away from me. So you got to be very intentional when you go on these apps. But yeah, what are your thoughts on it? Let's keep that conversation going. Until tomorrow.